Hey there, this is Reena and I'm going to take a basic tutorial on MATLAB. So this is the tutorial how to just get start with MATLAB and just see how you get familiar with all the window present in the MATLAB. So presently if you can see on the screen is there are three folder. If you see this is a current folder which is open in the open here. So basically, the thing which is you are looking right now is present in the SNS block folder. The other thing which on which you are just going to work on is the command window, and the third is the workspace. So if you see some data is already present in the workspace, if I want to remove this one, right? So better is to so it will clear all the data because when you this thing is that when you want to clean everything up, just clear it. Otherwise, if you're going to work on some variable, it will take the previous variable also data. So sometimes might be possible that you will get the wrong output. So you should clear all the window when you're working in the MATLAB. So this is the folder. This not going to come into the picture until unless you're going to call it like picture audio whatever. But the you should be uh, sure about these two windows should be clear. So now what? To clear command window, you have to press CLC, and to close workspace, clear workspace, you have to put clear all. Right? It's already clear, so now yeah. Hmm. So to start with the MATLAB, I'll start with a variable. So like suppose I just want to store a value into a variable, and so you have to just press enter. So the seven value will be stored in a variable. So this a variable you can be seen in the workspace also. If you double click on it, so this seven value is stored into one cross one double. So basically, MATLAB is a matrix. Basically, if you expand it, also matrix laboratory, right? So this will deal with the variable. So everything is here is on matrix format only. If you're going to work in the future image and video also, that will take in account of a matrix only. Okay, so that will I'll cover in this lecture. So again, this is the value which is I store in variable A. If I want to store something different in variable V, it will store. No, see, this semicolon is there, right? This will suppress the value because this will not display value B. Uh, you already store the value in B, which you can be confirmed with the workspace, but you have suppressed it by a semicolon. Suppose if I remove this semicolon from here, right? And let's see, press. So 30 is displayed. So you understood the function of semicolon here, right? And one more thing is there in the command window. If you press arrow up from your touchpad, so you'll see uh, this all the previous thing which you used will be displayed there, right? So yeah, it's good that if you don't want to type everything, just put arrow from keyboard and just see whatever the previous command you use, you can just call it, just pressing it. Suppose I call this, so it's clear all right. Now I want to add two value into like variable 3 plus 7. So see, the new value will be get stored into A, right? If I want to multiply with some value, so the 10 value get multiplied with the 3 and the new value 30 will going to get stored in the A. So you can see the workspace. It so the good way to work in the MATLAB to have a eye on workspace. So when you are going to make any mistake, so you can easily see in the workspace what matrix dimension you have used and what is required. So you know in MATLAB when you work in matrix, the dimension of A and B should be, match like n cross m, and the second matrix should start with m cross n, right? Row and column, this thing. So you are familiar with it. So when you're working in the MATLAB, just make sure before multiplying your dimension are are matched properly. Now, uh, this was like single variable. Now, if you want to, you know, make a matrix, so always use square bracket here. Suppose I just randomly I'm just giving some input. This will create a matrix of two rows, three column, so 2 cross 3. And if I want to take another variable having a different value, right? So now you want to add this two up. So these two will get added on. If you want to subtract it, just use the normal command, a minus b. So whichever present in the first, from there the value of the second will get subtracted. So you can do in the reverse way also. Yeah. Suppose you want to multiply it. Now I'll show you what error you will get. See, as the dimension is not matched properly, so you have to take transpose of B, right? So yeah, so be careful about the multiplication rule, which you already know. So yeah, this was about the multiplication. The same thing you can take even the fraction value also. Suppose you want to take square of a, right? So you have to write simply this one, right? So it will take square of every element. So what was there in A? This was your A matrix. So one square one is one, three square is nine, right? So this is done. Next is, suppose I want to write some character into it. So I'll write fine. If I want this is simple, if you see this space will be count as one character. So this A having a length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 elements. So there are 9 elements. Suppose I want to make it into second column also. So this second row, I want to store this value in the second row also, right? So this column will take all the value. So this is about second row, all the column. So my element was present in the first row, right? See, so you have written the same thing again. Suppose if you going since here the matrix dimension is same, right? All have both having 9 elements. But if you're going to add something different into it in the second row, it will show some error. To overcome that error, you are going to use a string command. String like you can enter n number of character length into it. So basically, normally how you write string command is, so this is the way to write. Suppose my second row is of different character length. So I'll write. So if some error is there, it will show by red mark. So these are two string of uh, uh, two statement basically with a different length, character length. So yeah, this will just display there, right? To enter into second column, you can just press colon, semicolon. Yeah. So now I think if you work more into it, you will see different example. You will try it by your own. So this is just to make you to just start with this one, right? Now, if you want to see what variable element size you have stored, just write whose. So, right, this will display whatever the variable you have, the size and the byte they are taking up. even the class how they are. Like a variable is of size 1 cross 2, having this much of bytes, and it's in the form of string. And b is a 2 cross 3 variable with 48 doubles, right? Now, suppose if you want to work on long term, like if you want to save a program for future reference, you're just going to work in the editor window so that whenever you want to call up, this thing will come, right? So actually in command window, you'll erase the data, right? One next time when you're going to come, it will be not there, right? So better to, if you want to save that thing for the future, you should work in the editor window and save it. One more thing is there. If you going to right click on in this variable in the workspace, save as, so it will saved in the mat form, and something r dot mat format, right? So this, if you see, I just saved it with the r dot mat. So this came up in the current folder, and if you press it, no need to load again and again. If you just press it, the load r dot mat will come here. So whatever the value you have stored, this will come here. Okay, so you can call it n number of times. So yeah, to start programming in the editor window, you have to close everything again, the thumb rule. Although you have not plot anything now by now, so close all is not required. Now what you want to store something, some value into a variable, right? 30 b something 9 z equals to a plus v. So when you run this one up, you'll see all the things here in the command window. So z is what they added up, right? A and b. Suppose you don't want to see a and b in the command window, you want to suppress it, just put a semicolon here and then run. So now you'll see the 39 only, the output. So by this way you saved your command window from so many variables, right? So this is the basic thing about the editor window. You write a good programming in the editor window. You can use a loop, for loop, while loop, or something, right? So start your programming here in the editor window itself. Now you can see in the workspace, you can see jet variable also got stored with a element of like value of 39. That's it in the, I think that's much is enough for the basic introduction. Yeah, one more thing is there. Suppose I am going to, before this CLC, I wrote a like a matrix, A matrix, right? This is a 3 cross 3 matrix, and I want to extract one element, right? I want to extract this element 2. So it's in present in the first row, second column. So I'll write first row, second column. So see, it will extract the value present in the first row, second column. So 2. If you want to replace it with some other value, right? So you can write first row, second column with a value 9. Yeah. So see, the second element it get replaced by the 9. So this is just a fun way to, just do it. See how the things work, and like, yeah. Um, Now I want to take you to the next section of like importing image into MATLAB. So before you start with, you should have some JPG TIF form in your laptop. For example, if you see in my current folder, there is one iatd.png file is there, right? It's in black and white form compressed file. So to use this, I'll use a read command. I'm going to store it into some variable. So it will be array form. So you'll see the imread command which is there in the MATLAB itself. Yeah. So this what will do, the system will extract the data present in the IITD logo and it's stored in the array T. Right? Now you want to display it. So you should use a command imshow. Okay, this is IITD logo I call it. Suppose I want to see my IITD file. Yeah, and then run. So see, this is the my IITD building, which is black and white for now. So I can increase the contrast level by, using one command. So basically we use im hist command to see the pixel distribution in the image. So this will tell about how your, image intensity is distributed along your picture. So if you see in the T, open this up. So this is the back end of your image file, how the bit streams are there in the back end of image file. So when you write im hist, you have to store it in some other variable. Like I have not put a command close out, that's why it's displaying me wrong image. Put a figure up before it, otherwise it will overwrite it. Yeah, this is the intensity, pixel intensity distribution. Now what I'm going to see, this picture is very dull. The contrast is not good. If you want to improve the contrast level, you can simply write and store in some T2 variable hist EQ to enhance the contrast level, right? You can read about it in MATLAB help. And again, I am show to display this image. Yeah, so the contrast level is improved from the previous one. So basically, it will distribute the pixel intensity along the image. So you can work on the colorful image and see how the bit stream look like at the back end. This and see the how the variables there in the workspace, right? So yeah. Now moving on to the audio file. Suppose you have MP3 file in your system or some .wav file in your system and you want to play it. So better to use audio read command because wave read command have a limitation about playing audio MP3 files. So in the advanced version, this is good about audio read function. So yeah, just start with basic commands. Mm. Now you want to read your file. I have this one audio.mp4. So I am going to call it. So why I'm using FS here? FS is about sampling frequency. So you know that your sound wave is in longitudinal wave. So it will be in an analog form. So you're going at MATLAB deal with the matrix. So it going to convert your analog signal into the digital one. So you know to convert a signal from analog to digital, you should have proper sampling frequency. Otherwise, you won't be able to extract the proper signal, right? So I'm going to use the FS here. And you know, to extract properly a data, you should your Nyquist criteria should satisfy. So I'm going to use read, sorry, audio read. So it's there. You can see this one, this function, audio dot. So you should have to write proper name. Now this what this command will this audio reel will store the data into r.fs. Now you want to play it, right? So there is a command sound. You have to save it. Okay, something wrong. Off. Invalid expression. Check for the missing multiplication operator. I think this should work. Okay, the same file was stored in my different folder with the same name. So yeah, this was like multiple image file was open. So that's creating a problem. So yeah, this command will work. There was nothing wrong in that, but multiple times I had saved that file, so it was creating a problem. No issue. So yeah, if you write this command, you'll extract the data and put into RFS, and then just sound on. This sound function is just to easy to be heard by the human being. So yeah, this only for the system. So hope this may help you a little bit to get familiar with the MATLAB. Just ping me up or drop message on my streams about any doubt or something. See you then. Bye. Thanks.